Alright, welcome to this tutorial on how to use the Followup Builder. I'm Kurt Kimpton, and you'll notice that I am, first of all, logged into 5-Star Window Care's account, and you'll see that I'm in the Followup Builder area. So the first thing you'll notice is that by default, the From field will say ResponsiBid@synthesize.com, but you don't want that. You want emails to be coming from either you or somebody in your company. So you're going to want to update the addresses that are in there. So the first thing you'll do is you'll go ahead and, I recommend at first, when you're first loading this, go ahead and just do one email address at a time as you're getting them approved. So we're going to get them approved by go ahead and deleting the address that's in there, and you're going to put in you@email.com. Okay, and when you click update, it will take you to a page that will tell you, hey, go to your email inbox and verify this email address. If you're going to do both email addresses, at that point you'll probably want to come back and put in the second email address and update that one, and then have that person go in and click the link for that as well. What you're basically doing is you're telling ResponsiBid these email addresses are real, and we're not going to get in trouble using those. So once you've done that, you will go ahead and update your email addresses. And at that point, when you come back after verifying them, you'll come in and you'll probably notice the email address that's in there is still responsibid@synthesize.com. But that's totally okay. All you have to do at that point is go ahead and put the addresses in that you just verified, and now you won't have to verify them anymore. It'll just stick. Okay, so now that you see that all the follow-ups are disabled, we need to go through and customize these. So the first thing is that each follow-up is designated to go in order. So in this case, this one is designated to send an email out 0 days after the bid is made at immediately. So we can actually send out this bid, this follow-up to the bid right away. And when you go in, you'll see that it'll say, hi, contact first name, thanks so much for having us give you a bid today. Well, you could change this text however you want, but you'll also notice this is really weird. This is called a merge field. And you're like, well, how am I ever going to remember any of that? You don't have to. You could just say, hi, thanks for having us give you a bid today. Or if you want to get personal, you can just put a space in there like you regularly would. And right when you're ready to type the word, you'll just go into the merge field and select whatever it is that you want to choose. So you can say, hi, first name, and it'll already put the merge field in for you. And you can do all sorts of things, but there's another really great one right here. Your proposal link, also the bid date. Those are two really handy ones. So you'll notice that we used another merge field, is that just in case you need to look at the proposal, you can click the following link to see it again. And I just put a period, space, and then when you do this, it'll say view proposal is what the link will say, and then they can click it and they'll be able to view their proposal in real time. So again, you do that just by clicking proposal link. Now, once you've got that all in there, you'll want to go ahead and hit save. And it'll save everything up. You'll also notice that the subject line is customizable. This one actually has a merge field in it, but the rest of them you can just select from these other subject lines, and you can get it all set up and squared away. So once you've done follow-up 1, you'll want to go ahead and enable that, and then you'll go into follow-up 2. You'll say, okay, I want to have this one enabled too. So you can say, hi, contact first name. Once again, choose who you want it to come from. This is going to go 2 days, or maybe at some point we'll say weeks, but right now 2 days later after the previous email at, and we can choose whatever time. So if we want to say at 11 a.m., that's fine. We're going to go ahead and enable that one. This is good. We're happy with it. You'll notice that in the PS, I said, and again, if you need to see your proposal, here it is again. But keep in mind, this one here, this is a great email because it says, just a quick question. I wasn't sure when you were hoping to have the work completed by, so I thought I'd follow up to make sure we take good care of you. Did you have a certain date in mind? The fact that you ask a question in these emails is great because it'll get people to respond better. It won't look so much like a canned email. But you will notice there are some customizations you can make here. Bold, italic, underline. Just make sure that you don't go overboard with all this styling, because if you do, it'll be obvious that you are not sending a real email. And if it looks like it's not a real email, people are trained to ignore those. So try to keep it looking pretty vanilla and really conversational. You'll have much better luck with your follow-up builder. You can go through and you can look at all the follow-ups. You can see that this follow-up is scheduled to go 6 days after the previous email. This one's scheduled to go 4 days after the previous email. So they start spreading out a little bit further. Okay, now when you get this, you're going to also notice there's a bunch of default text in here, but you'll see there's phone numbers. You definitely want to make sure that you customize these to you, and definitely change the phone numbers, names, and all the names to, you know, protect the innocent. But you definitely will be unhappy if you're sending out follow-ups after every bid that are not, you know, congruent with what you'd want. Now this one's special. This is called the admin email. The admin email is scheduled to go to someone in your company from someone in your company. Now you could use both the same email address if you wanted to, but the idea here is that you can see that maybe in 1 week, right, say 1 week after the bid is made at 12 p.m., I'm going to get a major dump of all of the merge fields. Now by doing that, that's going to make it so that I can be prompted to make a phone call, or whoever, in this case, info@5starwindowcarrier.com, that's our office manager, she will have the ability to have all this just show up in her inbox. And if we change this title here, I guess, yeah, in this subject line, I guess, thanks for getting a bid. But in your app, you'll notice that there is one called admin email. So in admin, you'll just select admin email as the subject, and that person in your office will get this email that will always come with the same title and it'll always have that information, so they can just pick up the phone and make a phone call. But we want to enable that in order for that to work. Okay, the final thing is that you'll see there's an opt-out area. Now the reason the opt-out area is important is because in order to comply with the CAN-SPAM Act, you've got to have an opt-out link at the bottom of any automatically sent out email. Otherwise, you're a spammer. We aren't spammers, so we comply. So you don't get to customize where it says opt-out. There'll be a link at the bottom, but you do get to put a little bit of text right above it. So in this case, if you'd like me to stop sending our super helpful emails, you could always kick me to the curb by clicking the link below. We add this to our emails as a courtesy to ensure we never bug you. Now, the reason this is important is because if somebody doesn't want an email from you, it's very, very, very important that they tell you the way you want them to tell you. Because if you don't give them a good, clean opportunity for them to tell you, stop emailing me, then their next reaction will be go to the very top of their like Gmail or whatever, their toolbar there, and they'll use that spam button. And if they use that spam button, after a couple of those, your email account, shouldn't say a couple, well, yeah, I think you get like 2, maybe 3 of them. You get a couple people clicking spam, and your follow-up builder will stop working because you will become blacklisted, and you don't want that. So the tendency is for people to get to the end of an email and put a ton of white space so that the opt-out email is way down low. Hey, if I have to comply, I'll have it at the bottom, but I'll push it way, way down at the bottom. If you do that and people start using that spam button at the top of their Gmail account, then you could become blacklisted really, really easily, and you don't want that. So make this really easy on your customer, and if they don't want to get email from you, then hey, they don't want an email from you. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Okay, sorry about that. So the next thing that you will want to do is you will want to go ahead and test it. So what happens is you'll go and you'll do a, we'll do a rough window cleaning quote. So we'll fill it in with my information here. And we will just pick any old city, and we'll pick how we heard about you, and how many above the ground, do you have a basement or not, all that. And say I'm just going to get a rough quote. I don't have sunscreens, and follow up with me. Okay, now when someone fills out this form, when you go into the dash, well, first I guess we'll wait for it to calculate. You'll see that, I got the bid, and since we're in the app, we actually have all those cool customizations available to us and everything. But when you go to the dashboard, you'll now see that this customer now has a new follow-up status area. Now, you can see that at 10:25 a.m., we have something scheduled to go out. Now, what that means is that next time the system, every half hour, it will go ahead and send these emails. So this one's waiting for 10:30 to roll around. It's scheduled at 10:25, but at 10:30 it's going to roll around and it's going to trigger the next email. So if I click trigger next email, it's going to trigger it just like you would expect for it to, but it's going to be a little bit deceptive because it's still going to keep working on email number 1 until that half hour passes. So you can't really speed it up in this situation is what I'm trying to say. So I know a guy, so I am going to trigger it real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So you'll notice that when we go back into the Kurt Kempton profile, you'll notice something different now. You'll notice that this email has been sent, and that the next one is scheduled to happen at tomorrow. Well, 2 days from now it looks like, and it's going to happen at 11 a.m. So you can see the times are all varied and good to go. I could trigger the next step, and then at the next half hour that could go if I really wanted to. Or if the customer called me and they're someone I didn't necessarily want to deal with, I could manually click stop the follow-up sequence, and everything scheduled and pending would just stop right away. Well, you can hear I just got an email, and this one, you'll see that this was the notification email that I got as an admin. You can see that I got all this information. I can view the proposal and all that. That's great. But because I am also the person receiving the email, you'll see that Kurt Kempton sent me an email, and we can look and see it came from Kurt at 5 Star Window Care. My address book, need to substitute my name in there for it. But it says, "Hi Kurt, thanks for having us out to give a bid." There's that link. You can see it merged my name. It gave me the link, and so on and so forth. But let's just say, and there's that white space I told you that would be, be there before the opt-out. I can go ahead and click this opt-out link if I want to, and that's this page that they'll be taken to. We're gonna, spruce that up a little bit, but you can see that at this point, the customer said, "I don't want any more emails from you guys." So when you go in and you look at that customer's profile next time, and you see their follow-up status, you'll see that they opted out of everything. They don't want to be contacted anymore. So they let us know that they opted out. So that's how the new Follow-Up Builder works. You definitely want to take the time that it's going to take to make sure you enable, what you want to have enabled, and you customize the way that you want to have it customized. Make sure that you play fair. There you go. There's a white space I inadvertently must have added. Went ahead and saved it. Got rid of that. So have fun with it. Make sure you don't use any of the default text that you don't want to use. Have fun with it, and I'm telling you, this is going to be so powerful because you will never have a missed bid again from a legitimate person who's giving you their email, because now it's going to follow up perfectly every single time.